Hey, what's going on? It's Evan from Motive in Motion. Hopefully you're having a great day. I got another case study here pulled up from our client base that I wanted to share with you. Some of the results that we had working with this brand authority, this niche expert in the primary education space. Basically, she had like two sides of her business, which are essentially e-commerce and info product focus. So one was based off the back of her personal brand for the info products and memberships and trainings. And the other side was kind of more digital downloads and cheat sheets and worksheets and stuff like that for teachers to use, as well as kind of speeding up the learning curve of folks that were, parents that had kids that are struggling in school, essentially. So that's what her entire brand is based around, and it's kind of a two-sided brand that wasn't being cross-promoted super well between that, both of those offers and the different websites, right? So we jumped in and we're able to help them, like as the title says, e-commerce and info product site with the funnel recreation of plus, 200% plus engagement, and also we bumped up revenue by about 1,008%. So pretty sweet results here. I just want to walk through this case study here with you, and I got some of the site pages pulled up so I can show you some of the sales funnel ins and outs and kind of pull back the curtain here. And speaking of, before we get started, speaking of peeling back the curtain, basically what I do is run a bi-weekly newsletter called the 1st and 15th, getting you paid like the 1st and 15th. Essentially is a bi-weekly send where I share all these kind of insights and methodologies that we have from inside our client business at Motive in Motion, and I'm sharing just different breakdowns of strategy and kind of the copy and the thinking and the mindset and the creatives behind all of this stuff. So if you're definitely not on the list, go ahead and hop on that. It's a free newsletter to sign up. You can find it in all my bios. I'll link it below as well. But anyways, I wanted to jump in here with you and just share this, another results from the case study that we have here. So as the title says, we're able to really explode the, revenue and engagement with the most important KPIs that we're tracking here. So the challenge here is when the client came to us, they were kind of like already a successful school teacher turned info product and niche expert, an e-commerce business owner, and basically they came through a referral from another client, and they needed a total revamp of their core funnel pages and the email campaigns and the two main home pages, one for the e-com site, one for the info product site, right? So their sites were already very profitable. They had a big list, but they were leaving a lot of money on the table, and with the low conversion landing pages and product pages and everything kind of being under optimized with the emails and the cross promotions of those two brands. So our solution here was we step in and devise a new strategy that would accomplish a lot of things at once, right? So mainly just, as we do for every client, we call out the deepest pains of their market, via our unique research and proprietary method for the psychographic gathering process, as well as establishing the social proof, the credibility, the proven results that the client has, and then designing a customer value ladder with bundle packages, upsells, and cross promotions for the brand, as well as creating a high conversion sales funnel that presented the offers, both offer suites effectively, and also cross-promoted those, as well as maximizing their CLTV there, because there's a lot of money on the table when you're not really telling your core audience all of the things that you have and promoting them in various places where they are, on social media, on the email list, on the website, right? So that's kind of what we stepped in and did for them. And as I mentioned briefly, the outcome here was that the end result we created were really amazing. Really impactful, long-lasting results. So we created two new home pages, one for the e-com site, one for the info product site, as well as new product-specific landing page funnels, as well as email campaigns, and effectively cross-promoting those two brands, right? Because a lot of those products kind of went hand in hand and went tandem. So we wanted to make sure to get them proper visibility, if you will. We also launched the newly designed home pages and sales pages, and shortly after we increased their engagement, time on site, and revenue. So here's a little sampling of the before page for the e-com side. I'm going to go through the e-com side first, and then we'll jump to the info product stuff, right? But this is kind of what their site looked like before. Very outdated, kind of basic search bar here, logo kind of front and center, and then some different offers, but nothing really compelling, nothing jumping off the page, kind of an older style template approach, if you will, right? And so this is the after page that we actually made for fully mobile responsive, as well as high conversion, kind of optimized, sharing those big benefits up front and center, and sharing exactly what you're going to get from the site, while also showing a little example of everything that you can kind of expect from the site in terms of the digital downloads, the worksheets, the programs, and also, excuse me, some different pop-ups to capture the email list subscribers and make sure that everyone is on point. They know exactly what they're doing and like what they want to get from the site. We're putting that front and center so they can consume that, right? So I want to also jump to the site just to give you a little bit of a background of what that looks like now. As you can see, it's the same type of approach that we're using that's live on the site still. As you scroll down, you see a lot of different benefits of, why would you want to engage with them, what's going on in terms of the collections that they have, different bundles, all these things, the 80-20 sales process, these things here that we put up front and center to show that, like, hey, these are the best things that are getting the proper real estate of your on your website, because these are the best sellers. We want to put them up front and center, right, obviously. And then this is kind of the default tab. You can scroll through other stuff, new arrivals and whatnot, but these are the things that are selling the best and kind of, the most profitable for them, as well as offering a various, 30% off discount code, pop-up type of thing to get their email address, right? and other just simple benefits kind of scrolling by nonstop. And like I said about the cross promotions, this is from the Sounds to Spelling phonics program. This is also one of their info products that goes straight to their other website that I'm going to show you in a minute. This is the info product site that we're kind of cross promoting with the e-commerce site, so to make sure that hey, we also have these programs for you if you don't if you want to go deeper and dive into the a little bit deeper depth of if you will, of what needs to be done in terms of like, okay, your kids are struggling with phonics scores and reading tests and things like that, sounds, word writing, everything like that, right? They're basically just making sure that we have the program promotion right front and center from this core website. Depending on which one you land on, you're always going to get into the right place for what you actually need for your students or for your children, right? Other feature products that are doing super well, these are kind of the higher ticket ones, at least for them, because a lot of them are $12, $20, whatever. But some of them, the bundles tend to sell really well, and so we wanted to put them front and center to make sure that those are getting the proper exposure on the biggest real estate sliders, the best scrollers of this website, if you will, right? And then a little bit about us, talking about Allison, the core brand owner, sharing a little bit of her experience and background, and kind of okay, if you want to learn more about her, just click here, things like that. So it's building that trust, building the rapport, as well as showing real people, real faces, real teachers, parents, things like this, giving proper testimonials and verified customer badges and things like that, and 5-star kind of icons and whatnot to just build trust and make sure that people know that they're in the right spot and these are the right people to learn from, right? So similar type of thing here, Math Library and the Kindergarten Literacy Club as well. Those are different other membership site programs that go to the main info product site. So just revamping the whole e-commerce site to be really, really compelling, jumping off the page with the offers that they have, making it really clear on exactly what to do next. Being able to get involved from the e-com side onto those info products or membership sites if you're interested in that, rather than while you're shopping for digital downloads or workshops or things like that, worksheets rather, then you're understanding that you can also get a lot more value by diving into those membership programs, right? And then also another thing that we did was implementing the kind of various things in terms of what level your kid is at. Maybe they're in kindergarten or they're first grade, second grade, whatever. You can go right to where you need to be in terms of the collection pages, because those are going to link to the most relevant products to you, right? So if you have a kid who's in second grade and they already completed the kindergarten at first, you're obviously not going to be buying these other programs. So you don't want to just be led around the site in a wild goose chase. You want to go right to where you need to be in terms of what you would like to buy to get the benefits for your kid or for your kids and your student if you are actually, or kids in the class if you're a teacher, right? So this is kind of interesting because we were targeting different sides of the market as well. We had a lot of deep psychographic research documents that we go through with every client, messaging sequences and templates to make sure that we're really targeting the right people, because if you're serving kind of a myriad of folks in your audience, then you want to make sure that they're getting the right things that they need right off the bat. And then also just answering some FAQs, just frequently asked questions that come across a lot, so you don't have to be redundant with all the things that you're continually emailing about, right? So just taking a lot off the founder's plate and make it really, really clear and simple on exactly what they do and how to get involved with them, right? So that's the old page. That was the new page. This is the old page, like I showed you here. So pretty drastic increase, and I'll show you the results that came from that as well in terms of improving engagement, time on site, and things like that, right? So this is another screenshot of the after e-commerce page. We're just sharing the other kind of upgrades and mobile responsive high conversion pages and whatnot, right? So let's move on to the info products as well. I'm going to show you the results at the end, but essentially this is the old info product page, kind of siloed and segmented and just kind of not very user friendly. Got the social up in the top right, which obviously is going to help people click off of the page and kind of like decrease your time on site and increase your bounce rate and things like that. You don't really want to be promoting the social to bounce off the site as soon as you get to the homepage, right? So cleaning up a lot of the imagery here and the kind of main benefits and whatnot. This is like, it was okay, but it wasn't ideal because it wasn't really promoting specific offers and just getting straight to the chase, right? So we revamped that with a very minimalist, simple thing. Obviously, we still have the socials up there, but it's kind of a little bit less, focused on terms of like, people are trained to go up to the top right to do something rather, like log in or take action. And so you don't really want those to be on the right. So it is good to promote them in some ways, but you don't want to make it the main call to action, right? So as opposed to that, with the main call to action, we're just kind of like learn more, just kind of telling them about the background of the story. So instead of that, we're just like actually click here to explore our resources, right? So that's basically getting access to a free chapter of the phonics book, or checking out one of the offers free or one of those opt-ins that they have, kind of going on down your own choose your adventure, if you will, to be able to be in the right specific place on any point in the site for what you actually need and what you would like to buy, depending on what you're dealing with, right? So definitely a drastic upgrade here. I'm going to show you the new info product site as well. It's obviously gone through some changes. But we're putting a pop-up bar here as well because it's like, if the reading intervention collab was also a very successful product, 18 bucks for one time, boom, that goes straight to the sales page. Then obviously you're optimizing conversions and clicks for the actual thing that you're trying to sell because obviously you're running business. You want to make sure that people are aware of what you do and they can get access to it immediately, right? So big benefit, very clear. Next stages of what to do, the call to action right below that to explore the resources. And then right there, it's just the free opt-in, but kind of above the fold a little bit, but the button is below in case you wanted to check out something else first. But again, just a bunch of call to actions, kind of, hitting them over the head with a bunch of different options that are very simple and very clear to be like, hey, if you want this, go here. If you want that, go there. Obviously the blog, the free workshop, another kind of recorded webinar that just runs in the background to start a new funnel for different offers and take them everywhere that they need to be through the email funnels. So just very clear, high design, conversion optimized pages that are making sure that we're trying to get them to the next stage to buy something, right? So again, this is cross promoting the other ecom sites. So again, when you're on the ecom site, you're getting promoted offers for membership sites, courses, things like that on the info product site, and that'll go to the other site. And if you're on the info product site, you land here from social or from Teachable or whatever, then you're obviously being prompted to go check out the e-commerce site, which is the mobile kind of representation of that, and that will take you back to the e-com site. If you can see in the bottom left corner, right? Shop at learning at the primary pond, right? So basically, depending on where you want to go and what you're actually trying to find on the website, it's very, very clear now, and it's very optimized for conversion, and that is really what led to increasing these results as well. So as we're talking about the literacy clubs for K2, that's another kind of a membership site offer that goes straight to that sales page. I'm going to show you one of those sales pages breakdowns real quick as well. Effective intervention, your reading intervention clubs, different membership sites. If your kid is struggling with reading, obviously this is for K through 5. So very quick benefit-driven blurb about what exactly that is to learn more, and then you can get sold on the sales page for that, telling the story and everything that's in there, right? Exploring more professional development courses, the new playbook that they have, another way to get people into the top of the funnel for a very cheap price, but also kind of get them into your world and get commitment and build a customer list rather than just an email list. And then also building the email list at the same time. Just if someone else just wants to go to the email list, obviously we want to make sure that we understand, are they an admin, are they a teacher, are they a parent? And then just first name and email, keeping it really simple so it's not requesting a ton of information for them. Like, yes, I would like to hear more from you, and yes, I am a teacher or curriculum director. Okay, cool, boom, opt-in, done. So that's basically how we optimized everything. In the bottom, obviously, we've got more prompts for going to the social media, and then a footer. So it's just sharing exactly, okay, you want to learn more about us, or just go back to the homepage. Very simple stuff to make it really, really conversion oriented and optimized to get them to the next stage of where we want them to be, right? So I'm going to show you one of these sales pages we helped rebuild as well. One of these things is like, going to a direct reading intervention collaborative page. This is the sales page on this membership course or membership site community. So basically it's like what it is, and then bang, a big benefit, and then another sub headline for, a call to action, and then the membership button. That's it, call to action button, right? And a nice picture from Allison. That's really it. So it's got the logo and just exactly what to do next. And then when you scroll down, you got a, real live video testimonial from a customer, membership, teacher, as well as, exactly breaking down what's in each module, little digital representations of kind of what's in it and what are you going to get? What are the features? Because people need to know obviously what they're getting and what they're actually going to learn, or who they're going to be around, and so they can learn this wisdom from, the various members in the course as well as the teacher teaching it. But of course, they also need to know that feature side of what's actually the presentation style, or what's the actual material. What are you getting when you buy it, right? What happens? So this is kind of what we're representing here. And then again, call to action button. And if they're obviously still not convinced, then we're talking about more pain points. If you're an educator, you're probably choosing this career because you wanted to help kids succeed. You live for those light bulb moments. But what about when the opposite happens, like when a child struggles with reading, right? Basically just calling out those core pain points of exactly what you're struggling with. Again, relying heavily on our psychographic research and everything like that to make sure that we're really targeting the right people with what they really need and what they want to learn. And we understand that we understand them better than they understand their own problems themselves. We can articulate those. And it's kind of like Evan Pagan said, basically when you understand the problems of your core market better than they do, they automatically credit you with the solution, right? So peppering in more social proof, more testimonials, more different kind of, stamps of approval from different universities and things like that. Just breaking it down in a very easy visual format that just, makes them understand that they're in the right place. And, okay, cool, we're going to, basically introduce a new paradigm of like, what happens when you get to a place where you're struggling to help, or you don't know how to help your struggling readers. Like, what do? This is exactly what you're getting inside. here's another nice, breakdown in terms of digital representation of the course and what's involved. You can read it on tablet, mobile, desktop, obviously. So it's basically a membership community of modules, courses with an ability to chat with other people who are in the similar space, whether they're parents, teachers, administrators, whatever. Kind of breaking down the features with a table, as well as comparing the different options for people, so they make it really, really clear about what exactly this is, what the community is like, just representations of, which one would be a best, fit for you, essentially, right? So basically, you're kind of comparing the other different things by bullet points. Obviously, bullet points are very powerful to help explain the offer and understand what that really means for them, what they're going to get out of it, right? And also just, more social proof from universities, as I said, stamps of approval, more testimonials, the real customers saying real things about the program, and then also just various ways to get connected with that. Obviously, this is kind of highlighted because this is the optimal one where it's a monthly membership with no coaching, and then this one's kind of more like a yearly, different things, monthly breakdowns, discounts, all that good stuff. So everything is a yes. It's just which one is, it's not a yes or no. It's yes, 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 or yes, right? Which one of these four is best for you, right? And then obviously talking a little bit about Allison, the brand owner. And then also a sneak peek demo, a little Loom video from herself as well, just sharing exactly what's in the program, what you're going to get when you sign up, and kind of busting those objections. Just basically making a very qualified pitch to the right prospect to share exactly what's inside there, right, and what they're going to be getting. And then other frequently asked questions, calling them actions, more social proof, and then sign up here, right? So that's basically what we were doing for this entire site over this next 3 months. We usually sign people for about 90 days to at least collaborate, and then we also try to align incentives on the upside so that we are both having skin in the game, right? So that's usually where we start out with this 90-day commitment type of thing, so we can see, have enough time and skin in the game to see the results. So the results on this were really awesome as well. We actually really exploded the site engagement time. The average was about 30 seconds, before we started working together, and then when we actually revamped everything, it was about triple that, a minute and 30 seconds for each page view on average, right? And also, we were able to really dramatically boost the page views as well. So even within a month, they were getting about 51K, visitors and whatnot. So this turned into about 58K. And it's not a huge boost here, but it is pretty significant in terms of getting the right people on the right pages to stay there and engage with the content and get everything that they need out of that page to decide whether that's a good fit for them. So this is kind of the stack up of how those were working, and different page views and sessions, and also, like I said, tripling the time on site from 29 to about a minute and a half. 51 to 58 was about that. So total was about event count was 155,000 events versus 171. So definitely a very drastic boost on all kind of metrics and KPIs that really matter, right? And then finally, of course, revenue, obviously most important. Basically, we started out with about 3.7K revenue, and we ended up with about 41K monthly revenue for those different products. This was primarily on the e-commerce side, and they were also doing some different launches, but we dove deep, and we were able to revamp a lot of those backend funnels using the email list and some of those evergreen funnels and email campaigns to rewrite those and recreate those designs and make them really clear with more social proof, more storytelling, more emotional-based copy to target the right people and get in front of them and just kind of promote those various offers that we have for them, right? So if you're interested in getting a sales funnel marketer or growth partner in your corner, obviously you can just check out what we have going on. You can join our newsletter. You can contact me directly, or you can go to our site and check out more of what we got going on here as well. I have the discovery call page for us, so we can check out what you're working on, what you're doing, what your priorities are for this year, and what you're marketing and your business. So we basically at Motive in Motion are helping niche experts and creators get on the map within 90 days and really just promote their offers and sales funnels in a much better way, a much more efficient, kind of focused, customer-driven way that they want to consume the content, consume the offers, and putting it out all in strategic ways to, basically get the right types of people in the right funnels. So, if you want a link for this page, let me know. I'll send it to you, and we can chat with you about what you're working on in your business and what you're prioritizing for the year. Let me know below in the comments what your biggest takeaways were from this. And if you have any questions on what you're working on currently, we can help you with basically just creating and revamping your sales funnels and your product market fit and everything like that, because getting a solid core offer into the market and really being able to scale with that is paramount, and as well as having other supporting different top of funnel entry points to get people into the right place that they need, so that they know that you're the right person for the job or for helping them get to the next level, whatever niche you're in. This is what we do full time for creators and niche experts. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got some value from it. Let me know what your number one takeaway was in the comments below, and I'll be in touch with you soon. Cheers.